What is going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Dre Max Show. Where today, before I go watch Fast X, God willing that I get up on time for my showing, obviously my voice is back too. I went and rewatched the movie that a lot of people, as far as even if they're not a fan of this franchise, they don't like this movie. So I went and rewatched Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm going to do my own little review on this. To me, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I honestly think it's a lot better movie than what people give it credit for. So I guess that's what we're going to talk about today. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to get my thoughts on it because really, it's not that bad at all. It's really not that bad of a movie. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to talk about a couple things here or whatever. Hopefully, like my man Heavy Gan said, hopefully you're happy and you're healthy this morning. Um, Ejectocito, cuz. I'm gonna get to all the little tidbits that I was just, you know what, I watched this movie as a fan. I'm coming from like not fanboyish perspective, but I'm gonna give you why I like this movie. Why I honestly had a good time rewatching this, laughing, joking, having a good time. So you already know what it is, man. You know how we about to do it. The real question is, all right. All right. Um, Kind of before I get started, I want to send out a condolences to inspiration in wrestling, the superstar Billy Graham. I want to give a condolences out to Superstar and his family. They took him off of life support yesterday. It was something that his wife said it was hard for him to do, hard for the family to do, but they took him off of life support. So my condolences. I'm wearing my NWO, New World Order red and black, it's Wolfpack for life. You know what I'm saying? But as far as being a wrestling fan, Superstar Billy Graham was one of those type of wrestlers who influenced so many other wrestlers, Ric Flair, um, Hulk Hogan, most definitely Hulk Hogan, and plenty other wrestlers. So my condolences go out to the family of Superstar Billy Graham. Died at 79. So yeah. Um. So before I go and watch the Fast and the Furious, I'm sorry, Fast X. Yesterday I was like, you know what? Let's go back and watch the movie that nobody likes. Let's go back and watch Too Fast, Too Furious. And what's funny about a lot of people's disdain for Too Fast, Too Furious, it's like they want that the what they complained about is what they want in the Fast and Furious movies. People complain in Fast Nine or all the for basically since what Fast and Furious, on Fast Five, Fast Six, Fast Seven, Fast Eight, Fast Nine, and now Fast X. They say, oh, they jumped the shark. They forgot about the street racing. The movie opens up with street racing. You know what I mean? And the different cars. Nissan Skyline. You know what I mean? The Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Version. Oh my god. You'll be surprised, Blue, who don't like this movie. You know what I mean? The Rotten Tomato score. I don't go off Rotten Tomato, too much. But then I can't say. The Rotten Tomato score is like 36%. The Metro Metacritic score is Metacritic, I'm sorry, is 38%. And the but 87% of people like this movie. And again, there's okay, so I'm going to give you guys some backstory. Let me get all set up here and get this thing cracking real quick. Now, my big thing on movies like this is what I want to. Let's minute. First of all, a Nissan Skyline is hard to come. The one that he had in this movie is super hard to come by. You just can't buy that off the street. You just can't go to a dealership and just go buy that. And it was, oh my god, that Skyline is dope. The Evo we had was dope too. I didn't really like that Mitsubishi Eclipse. The Mitsubishi Eclipse is not a good car. It's not even fast. My 2019 Mustang would dust that Eclipse in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? But give you some story on old Dre Mac. Old Dre Mac, is a big fan of anything cars, even the movie Cars. I love the movie Cars, but I really like, and I grew up in the 80s, so I like car action adventure shows and movies. I grew up, and if nobody knows this, y'all gonna know today. I'm a humongous, I'm talking about huge Knight Rider fan. I'm a huge, and it's gonna piss some of you black folks off, Dukes of Hazard fan. You know what I mean? The General Lee was dope. You know what I mean? Uh, a huge fan of car chase movies, Bullet. You know what I'm saying? With Steve McQueen, anything that had any Mad Max that had any chase scenes with a car, I'm all over it. You know what I mean? Well, it was illegal to import for a while. They just recently relaxed on the import of them. If you can find it in that condition too. You know what I mean? Uh, but the Skyline is just, oh my god, they had so many dope cars in this movie. Is absolutely ridiculous. Um, the S2000 that Miko was driving. I drove a S2000 when I worked at a dealership. You boy, I almost wrecked that. Nah, but love do that. You know them black folks. Them, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all. You know what I mean? They be mad at that Confederate flag on there, but man, I grew up in the 80s. I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard. There's literally nothing racist about Dukes of Hazzard whatsoever but that rebel flag. And then if you really think about it, they robbing the police every episode and taking them on car chases. How black people don't love that? I is epitome of me. But they're trying to box black people saying they like, you know, stealing from the police and then, outrunning them. But I'm just saying, but personally for me, I really love Smokey and the Bandit is one of my favorite movies of all time. And actually, if you take the aesthetic, and what I mean by that is the aesthetic of running from the police or whatever and doing outrageous stunts. I mean, we did that with Dukes of Hazzard. We did this with Knight Rider. You know what I mean? Hardcastle on McCormick is one of my favorite shows growing up. You know what I'm saying? I said General Lee was dope, but Daisy Duke was dope. She was. I ain't gonna lie. That was a fine woman, though, man. It's a fine woman. But if you look at like again, Smokey and the Bandit, you know what I mean, with Burt Reynolds, Sally Fields, one of my favorite. I like Smokey and the Bandit too. It's not as good as the first one. The first one's a classic, but there's a scene in there that doesn't make any sense. So it's Smokey and the Bandit. They're running from the police, and I think they're in Alabama. That's because uh Sheriff Buford T. Justice, you know what I'm saying, finally start chasing them. So there's a bridge, right, that is out. Somehow, some way, they jumped the bridge. There's no ramp on this bridge. The bridge is completely out. They literally sky over the bridge. And if for one, in a 77 Trans Am, that's heavy as all hell. That is literally a steel frame, steel chassis, and a big ass. Well, I think that thing had a 305 in that 77 305 motor. No, it maybe be a 492. But don't quote me on that. I'm about to actually look that up. But you know what I mean? It's just a heavy ass car. How the hell did it jump the bridge? But when you're watching it and you're enjoying it, and you know this is ridiculous. You know you came in there to see Burt Reynolds, Sally Fields, my man that played Buford T. Justice, from the Honeymooners. Golly, y'all put it in the comment section. But you know what I mean. You know you're coming for a funny, action-packed, car-driven type of movie. Too Fast and Too Furious is exactly that. And the movie is so self-aware of itself. They call out certain things in the movie, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? It is awesome. 1977. Pontiac. That's not how you spell Pontiac. Hold on. T-A. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out what motor was in this cell. It says, oh yeah, that's right. 6.6 liter V8, which was crazy because it was just now going into that into the automotive crisis. But what I mean is, excuse me, that's a big heavy ass car. It's Ralph Crandon, but I can't think of the actor's name offhand right now. Smokey and the Band is a classic. TBS special lazy Saturday afternoon movie. Yes. What's going on, Mika G? What's going on? Ralph, yeah, I can't think of his name. I got to say about it. I said forget about it, cuz. And honestly, I'm gonna get to that part. I'm gonna get to the cuz part. Now, mind you, this movie is directed by John Singleton. He didn't get enough credit for literally how fun this movie is. And we got introduced to characters that are now mainstays in the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Roman Pierce is a mainstay in the franchise. Tez is a mainstay in the franchise. Michael Ealy is in the movie, not playing a despicable, jilted, I want to try to get your girl type of lover in this movie. Can you believe that? Michael Ealy is not playing a villain in this movie. What up with it, Mo? My man Mo, forget about it, cuz. You know what I mean? It's Mark Boone Jr., who always plays a dirty cop in movies, is in this movie. Playing what? A dirty cop. And if you don't know who that is, he was a dirty cop in Batman Begins with the curly hair. But yeah, the crazy part about this movie is that it actually has a compelling villain. Now, mind you, this is coming off of Fast and the Furious. Pockets ain't empty, cuz. This is coming out Fast and the Furious, where at the end of Fast and the Furious, you already know Brian gives the keys to Dom. Dom escapes. You know what I mean? And Brian is on the run. He's in Miami. For one, if you're on the run from the cops, that you used to be a cop, why are you out here street racing? I mean, it's a Skyline though. How did he get a Skyline? God, that is the dopest car in this whole. Well, there's a couple. There's a couple of dope cars, and again, I am a fan of cars. I love cars. Literally, I love cars. You know, that's one of my, like, when I was a kid, like, again, right, Jackie Gleason. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Uh Again, I didn't really get like He-Man and G.I. Joes and stuff like that. You give me a Hot Wheels set, I'm in there, cuz. You know what I mean? I'm in there. And that's what I used to reenact chase scenes, all of this, like I said, A-Team was one of the reason why I like A-Team so much. They hopped in the van and here come the car chase scene. In the 80s was notorious for car chase. Any show that you watch, Simon and Simon, the Rockford Files, I'm trying to think someone. Hell, Airwolf was basically doing chases, but with a helicopter. But it's still the same premise. You know what I mean? And those were fun for me when I was a kid. And it gives me that nostalgia. So when I got into the Fast and the Furious, that's what I got. I got into the nostalgia of seeing cars and people racing and all of this stuff. Man, it's so much fun. And the different kind of cars that they have. Now, remember we talked about ridiculous stunts. There's no ridiculous stunt more than the stunt they pulled when they pulled the bridge at the beginning of the movie where they're racing and Taz was like, I got something special for y'all, which I'm not going to lie. Ludacris is really a highlight of this movie. For one, it's just his cool demeanor through the whole thing. Now, you don't know how he became a hacker because it's never explored in this movie. They really kind of threw that on there with him. But as intelligent as he was throughout this movie, how he moved his shape, it's not actually rewatching it now. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, he had my man Jen, and I know y'all remember the rapper Jen. I forgot the name of the rap contest that he won. They used to come on or whatever. Jen was dope. A dope rapper. I know he's rapping for Jesus or he gave his life over to the Lord or whatever now, but man, not saying he's not dope now, I don't know, but back then he was dope, you know what I mean? So, them communicating about how things are wired, and even because this is how cool my life is, because I work for a manufacturer plant where I actually get to see a vehicle come from literal metal to a full car, and it's literally one of the greatest things I've ever done in my whole entire life. Not done a lot, but to be able to know that how much that I love vehicles and I love cars, and I get to see something go from scrap metal to a full vehicle is like, man, I first walked in there, and I know it's hard work and it's hard labor, but man, it gave me joy because I'm like, you have no idea how much of a car enthusiast that I am. You know what I mean? So I get to see this. But let me get back to the scene. Now, remember I was talking about Smokey and the Bandit, they jumped the bridge. Still don't know how they jumped that bridge, and that car remained intact. Like, your shocks should have been gone. Wheels should have been popping off. Tires should have been blown. The chassis, the whole front end, front clip, the whole grill should be in the ground. This mug made it. Now, I will give Too Fast, Too Furious this. When they did the jump on this one, I still don't know how the Skyline made it. Well, the Skyline is supposed to make it because Brian is supposed to win. That literally should have fell apart as soon as it hit the ground. You know what I mean? Literally should have fell completely apart. Everybody else's car, Michael Ealy's car, he wrecked. The one Hispanic dude from the first Transformers movie with Tyrese, he was like, hey, no, buddy. It was like, I'm out. I'm out already. Nope. Miko car got destroyed because it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But again, Brian's car survived. I still don't know how that happened. But, hey, that was one of the ones you were like, really? But okay, I give you this one. Because again, We looking at these movies, we rolling our eyes at some of the stunts and the laws of gravity and certain things. Like I was watching Fast Nine yesterday, and literally Dom catches Letty with a car. Do you? I'm gonna just put it like this: there was a point in time in my life where I was joking around with my cousin, and I hopped on his 1980 84 1984 old Delta Oldsmobile Delta 88. And when I tell you that was not a soft landing on his hood, and then he drove off and started spinning and doing donuts, and I went flying to the pavement. Trust me, none of that felt like pillows at all. So I can really completely understand the laws of physics are completely out the window. But I will give Too Fast, Too Furious this: not all of them was out of the realm of them getting hurt. Because trust me, they got hurt in this one. So let me just tell you, this movie's premise is really actually straightforward. Come on now. I'm telling you, Mo, I'm about to break it down. So the premise is real easy in this movie, and that's why I kind of like it. You know, Brian is on a run. He gets recruited by his old boss, you know what I mean, for back in LA to be a part of this thing by Customs because they trying to get the main villain, which is actually he was a dope villain. Carter Verone, which is played by Cole Hauser, but Carter Verone was actually, you know, a very compelling villain. He's just trying to move his money, and you guys are going to help me move my money. You know what I mean? And I'm going to test you all of that. And Eva Mendes, I'm not even going to call her Monica Fuentes. She's every time she's in the movie, she's Eva Mendes. Eva Mendes is playing an undercover customs cop who's been undercover this whole entire time, but she starts, for some reason, she sees Brian, you know, of course, the late Paul Walker. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to him. You know, she sees him and immediately smitten and trying to get some old Paul Walker, trying to get some old Brian O'Connor. It did what's funny is that Tyrese is calling him out through the whole movie. Now, Tyrese and Brian was friends that grew up together, which to me hasn't really been explored, and it probably hasn't been explored because, you know, Paul Walker passed on, but they really haven't really explored that dynamic of them being friends later on, and they kind of put, you know, the relationship that really Brian and Roman is supposed to have. They put it on Tez, so now him and Tez is kind of going at it with something that Brian and Roman was supposed to set up because they set that up in this movie. But the banter between Brian and Roman is hella hilarious. It is almost damn near natural. You know what I mean? Because there was one point because I can actually picture them in the, you know, doing this in the room like, shut up. Nah, you shut up. You ain't gonna tell me to shut up, punk. You know what I mean? It's like just going at it. Roman running his mouth, which I'm glad they kept that in later movies. But Roman running his mouth, thinking he tough and all of that. And Brian getting in his ass is so much fun. There and again, y'all know me. If you watch this channel, you know I like people that are having a good time in their movies. That's why I was laughing at Anthony Mackie yesterday, because obviously he is super happy to be Captain America. Now I need that performance. I need that performance from you. You know what I mean, Clarence? I need that performance. Because if this is your time to shine, baby. You give me something that ain't good. Oh boy, I am roasting your monkey ass for weeks when that movie comes out. So you better give me a good performance. Why I got these scissors in my hand? Better give me a good performance, Anthony Mackie. I'm counting on you. I'm gonna pull up the Tyra Banks gift because I trusted you. I put my faith in you. Oh Lord. So you better give me a good performance. Anyway, so, you know, the main character is hella evil. like, go back, go back and watch the scene with the rat. I could tell Tyrese, he wasn't feeling that rat. I don't know if the rat was in front of him while they were filming, but if you go back and just watch his body, he is hella uncomfortable. And he was like, it's a rat. Oh my God. It's the way he said it. It's a rat. Now, let me get to this. Let me get to the cuz part of this because everybody quotes the cuz parts. You know that they say cuz only 3 times in this movie. The first one is when they walking out the thing and it was like, I said, forget about it, cuz. That was Paul Walker. He was the first one to say cuz. And then ejectocito, cuz. And then we ain't gonna be hungry. What do he say? We ain't gonna be hungry. My pocket say, ain't empty now, cuz. Yeah, I said, forget about it, cuz. Yep, that's the first one. The second one was ejectocito, cuz, and the other one came at the end. It was like, you ought to be, we ain't gonna be hungry no more, cuz. And that was Paul Walker saying it again. It is him saying that is so funny. It's so funny because you can tell they're having fun. Tyrese is having the time of his life. You know what I mean? And if you ever watch Cinema Sins, anytime they do Tyrese, you earning that check, Tyrese. You earning that check. He is having a ball. Where they meet the two dude, where they meet the crew, where they got tested to go race to go get them to go get whatever was in the car of the Ferrari. They got impounded. And my man said, what did he say? What did he say? He said something about them little Cracker Jack cars that you drive it in. And he was like, ha ha ha. That's it said funny Fonzie or something like that. Man, he's just having a good time. Tyrese is eating the majority of this film, but at least they call. That's what I like. They called him out for the ridiculousness that he was actually doing in the movie. You know what I'm saying? They asked him, why are you eating so much? You know what I mean? Man, I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? And I know how that food tastes in the inside, so I'm going to eat everything on the outside. It is the one cop, Agent Markham, who was played by James Raymer. Dre, I'm going to go drive. I'm going to the drive-in this weekend. Hey, have fun in the drive-in, Derpy. I am going to go see Fast X today at the regular movies. Start summer off right. That is dope. That is so dope. Eventually I'm gonna head to the drive-in this summer. But yeah, James Raymore. James Raymore always plays. First of all, if you don't know who this is, the guy who played Agent Marco, go back and watch one of the worst video game adaptations of all time, and that's Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He is Raiden in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and he sucks as a cop in this movie. He's the only bad actor throughout this entire movie. Where they could have really jumped the shark, he's the only one that's pulling in a piss poor performance. It is not good. Because my man Tyrese took his food. It was like, hey, whose food is this? He was like, hey, that's mine. And he was like, so? In the face he just made on. And he just sat there and watched this. This man is sitting in the corner while another grown man is eating your food. Man, I'm telling you, these movies are not as bad as people pan them to be. All right, Dre, we can accept Tokyo Drift wasn't as bad as it seems to be with the recent installments. It technically, Tokyo Drift is actually, from, again, me being a fan of cars and racing, Formula One, rally car driving, NASCAR. I literally, you know what I'm saying? Now, NASCAR, because they're going around in circles a lot, I end up falling asleep. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But I like NASCAR, but I can't watch it because they're going around in circles. My joint Formula One racing. I can sit and watch Formula One racing. I can watch rally car racing, drag strip race. Man, let me not get started. Y'all about to get me over here hype. You know what I mean? Y'all about to get me over here hype. You know what I mean? But that's the stuff that I can watch. But Tokyo Drift is actually dope. You know, the only bad part of that movie is the casting of the main character, because he was 30. Playing a high schooler, man, that dude is paying rent and doing taxes. You know what I mean? Come on. It was the only bad casting. Other than that, introducing drifting, you know what I mean? Like literally introducing drifting to a Western to the West like that, because that is something that they literally do in China. Man, you know what I mean? It's deeper. Yeah, everything is not cohesive as far as storytelling. There's some silly parts, or some parts, especially Tokyo Drift didn't make sense. It's a way later on. It did. Tokyo Drift made sense. You know what I mean? That's because they shot it out of order. And this was a plan, you know, for the people who was like, I want to make this, especially when Vin Diesel came on as the executive producer and all of that, and really became the driving force of these movies. This was always a plan. You know what I mean? And like I said, John Singleton didn't do a bad job directing this movie. There's some scenes like the boat scene where they literally launched a car, you ought to say, on a ramp on a boat. And it was like, man, you on some Dukes of Hazzard stuff. And they called it. And guess what? Tyrese broke his arm. Now you can get shot at a mil. Dude, I'm watching Fast 9. The opening scene. Now, again, I love just action movies, like, because it gives me that 80s, 90s aesthetic of action movies, right? So I can watch this. But literally, Tyrese is getting shot at like 90 times. Not one bullet hit a toenail, nothing. Nothing. You know what I mean? So, they definitely did not film the movies in chronological order. It may have been intentional. And I want to say, because I want to say it was intentional, but I can't remember where I read it or where I heard it, but I believe this was intentional to do it like this. You know what I mean? And again, to me, you know, this was a great follow-up to the second one. The only thing is, people was mad because Vin Diesel wasn't in it, but they were pushing Brian. You know what I mean? They were pushing Paul Walker in, you know what I'm saying, in the franchise. So the real star of the franchise was really Paul Walker, and it turned to Dom and Vin Diesel really kind of after Paul Walker, you know, left us. You know what I mean? It started to be more centric, because it was really those two. You know what I mean? Those two was the dynamic of the show. They wanted to get the Dom and Brian dynamic, you know, which we seen that in Fast and the Furious. In not the Fast and Furious, but Fast and Furious. You know what I'm saying? Fast 5. You know what I mean? You start to see those dynamics. But in this one, because we're introducing Roman Pierce, and Roman has been in the franchise ever since. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the franchise ever since. So again, I like it. I don't think it's as bad as it seems to be. There's a lot of great cars in this. It's fun. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot going on. Again, like I said, the villain is not bad in this one. He's a typical, you know, I would say like Bad Boys 2 type villain. You know what I mean? Which was on par for that time period. And that soundtrack is dope. That soundtrack is dope. People forget how dope the movie opens up, where red girl get down on the floor, Red girl get down on the floor, You know what I mean? By Lil Flip and David Banner. But you know how many times I used to rock that joint in my ride? Please. I'll get to you. Mo, you said a lot of people dislike the franchise as a whole, but Too Fast and Furious is definitely the better film it is. Like Fast and Furious, Too Fast and Furious, it's not bad back-to-back movies. Like if you really want to just go and have fun, you want an action adventure, you want some comedy in it because Tyrese is hella funny in this movie. Actually, to me, because this is coming off the remember, this is actually because John Singleton did Baby Boy and then he did Too Fast, Too Furious. So he brought Tyrese into this franchise. And at the time, you can say what you want to about Tyrese over the years, but at this time, Tyrese was hella charismatic. He was funny. He was in shape. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to. John was trying to make him a Hollywood star. I can see that. You know what I mean? Of course, you know he was basically playing the same character from Baby Boy, so his acting range hasn't got there yet. I mean, Tyrese came from modeling, singing, you know, Heavy D, in the Coca-Cola commercials back in the day when he had a lot of chapstick on his face. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of grease on that brother's face when he got on that bus. Always Coca-Cola, yeah. But I mean, it again, there is some thrills in this mug. It is it's fun. I don't know what Eva Mendes was thinking what she was trying to get with Brian, knowing dude is nuts, but it's a fun, like literally, it's a very very fun movie. Uh, let me see. Let me try to get to a couple things before I let you guys go. So I'm gonna go to some fun facts and some goofs. Let me see if they got some goofs in here. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, so let me see a factual error in the final scene with the blue car and boat with the blue car and boat. The car is shown to be traveling 120 miles per hour, but losing ground to the boat. Boats boats like this are only capable of 42 miles an hour. If the scene was accurate, the car would be shooting past the boat by about 80 miles an hour and would have well ahead been well ahead when it made the jump. It would have fell right in that water. Uh, yeah, and I thought about this too. No, that's not okay. Let me see. Let me see if there's some good ones. Let me see. Trying to see if they got some. Okay, in Turbocharged Prelude, we see the now role Brian O'Connor on national news, including reported sightings of him. It seems odd that a crime lord of Verone Sanders wouldn't have watched the news for the past few months and simply recognize O'Connor when he sees him. And and I keep forgetting that there's a prelude to this movie. Uh, and that is kind of a plot hole. You know what I mean? In here, so yeah. Yeah, because again, Brian O'Connor was a decorated cop who let someone who was selling DVDs and tape and VCRs go. A big crime ring that they were trying to stop. So, yeah. One of the biggest plot points in the final act is how Verone tricked Fuentes into revealing she was a customs agent by telling her money drop was at the airfield and not the pier, which she promptly told O'Connor about. However, until the henchman riding with O'Connor tells him to drive to the pier, the actual money drop location was never mentioned in the film. Not even when Fuentes comes to warn them at the Verone would have killed them after making a delivery, and that is absolutely true. Uh, Roman Pierce looks to be driving with an expired license. The film was made in 2003, yet Pierce's license expired in 2001. This would have been a massive red flag for Verone and would exclude Pierce from driving for him. Exactly. It's certain things in here, but there's not anything wrong with this movie. There's not. But let me say this, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. He said before the drag race, the muscle car for Pink Slips, Brian tells Roman there's no way we can beat these guys straight up, and refers to the Yenko Camaro having a 0-60 at 5 flat. The Lancer Evo Brian is driving has a stock 0-60 at 4.7 seconds and is modified. Being a tuner enthusiast, Brian surely would have knew this. Remember, he tried to check the cop that was supposed to go be his partner on him about not knowing about motors or whatever. But I said, I was like, wait a minute, dude got an Evo, and dude is in a heavy muscle car. I know this from my own car in launch mode. My 0-60 in my S550 Fastback EcoBoost is like, I want to say is like, I think stocked is like 5 seconds or four something. Is a little under 4. So big muscle cars like that would have sit and would have been the wheels would have been spinning unless he heated up the tires before he started in a drag race. That Evo would have left him in the first 20 yards. It would have been gone. So yeah, I caught that too. But anyway, I'm going to go see Fast X today. I'm going to give you a review on it. If I do it, I'll do it straight out of the theater type review first, just real quick, and then I will give you a non-spoiler review on tomorrow morning. So, what do you guys think? Am I tripping? It's too bad. Too bad. Is Too Fast, Too Furious really trash? Is it really a bad movie, or is Too Fast, Too Furious actually a fun movie like what I experienced? And it's just something that just, hey, have fun and watch it. Go ahead, put it in the comment section. Again, what do you guys think? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and never miss one of my videos. Also, don't forget about the contest I'm running. Let me go ahead, Dre with the previous beard. Go ahead and tell them what they can win.
What's up? This your man Dre Mac. Want a chance to win a little bit of my money?
Got my money?
Well, all you got to do is like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. You know why? Because I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers.
Baby needs shoes. My wife needs clothes.
Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, if you like, share, and subscribe to this channel, you will actually have a chance to win a $100 gift card.
Message.
Again, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm giving away $100. Want a chance to win? All you got to do is do that, and I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully, you're the winner.
And Dre with the 5 o'clock shadow was right. You have a chance to win $100 once I hit 2,000 subscribers in the form of a gift card. And on that time that I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a festival, the festivities, right here on YouTube. And whoever is in that chat will actually have a chance to win. And I'm going to write down their name. I'm going to put it in the hat, and I'm going to go and pull it out. And that winner will be announced on YouTube on that day. So make sure you bring family and friends. Get them on in here, and let's see if they can win $100 of my money. Anyway, I had a good time with you guys as always. Thank you guys for stopping in. You already know what's time for.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, so you already know that I got to wrap it up. Again, thank you so very much for tuning in to the Dre Mac Show. I love y'all. Peace and ejectocito, cuz. Oh, snap. All right, Mo. Let me get up out of here. Where is my outro at?
If you came to this part of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, make sure that you follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.